Yo, what up? It's the Spinion.
Spinion.
We back in effect, full effect. Getting ready for this great week is going on. NFL's going on right now.
Yes.
Baseball doing this thing, which we don't really care about. We got basketball about to get started. Training camp is about to begin. So we're the Spinion. We get it in. All right, let's get it jumping. Let's get it popping. Do we want to talk about AB and we want to give it some light?
I think I'll preview it. I think I want to talk about that at the end. We let's just say this. It was worth it. It was worth the Patriots giving it a shot.
Okay.
It's more complex than people want to give it credit for. But the reality of the situation is that Antonio Brown is out of the NFL. And that's just the reality of the situation.
Hey, I gave you my spin on the Instagram Spinion page, which I think everybody should go to. This man is not the victim. He doesn't deserve no more attention. I'm no longer a fan of his. I think he's a talent, but I'm no longer a fan of his. The way he went about doing things was totally wrong. He deserved what he got. I'm sorry. I just feel like he deserved what he got. No, he's not a Kaepernick situation. Two total different situations.
Yeah,
this man set himself up for failure.
I think I want to talk about that in my race. So I won't talk about it now. I don't want to raise my blood pressure at the beginning of this show.
We'll just say to be continued. What about Odell and his watch situation?
This is the thing with Odell and his watch. Initially, when we first got, started watching the situation,
right?
It's like, oh, it's not really an issue, Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe we're making more big of a deal of it, because they're losing. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I think Odell and his watch is indicative of it's not really an issue, Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe we're making more big of a deal of it, because they're losing. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I think Odell and his watch is indicative of the problem with the Browns as a whole, as a team.
Okay.
It's a lot of individuals. Well, I'm not saying they don't have the desire to come together as a team, but it's a lot of individuals working on, and focused on what they handle individually.
Right.
And they think that this is my question. Is it helping?
Right.
That's my thing. It's like, everybody always wants to have this idea, and that's why I didn't want to talk about AB at the beginning.
Right, I got you.
All players want to have this idea of, or just people in general, I can do what I want. Well, yes, you can do what you want, but the question is it helping the team?
Right.
Well, it's not hurting the team. Is it helping the team?
Is we winning?
Yeah.
Right now we 1-2.
How is you putting on $1 million watch and he keeps raising the watch price and he looks great. He looks great every game.
Right.
But the reality of it is it's pulling focus from the team.
Right.
Period. And that's not a football thing.
Right.
We appreciate the diva wide receiver and all of these things, and he's playing great. But man, Cleveland Browns need to focus.
Right. I think the one thing is that people don't understand, and I had to have this conversation even in the barbershop. NFL is a little different when it comes to marketing because they can't take off the helmets. It's a penalty if you take off the helmets while you're on the field. So what they do is try to maximize their value while they on the field.
Absolutely.
And that's why he wore the watch. Back in the day, the Spaniards take off his helmet, throw up the sign.
Absolutely.
Then they start throwing penalties. In the NFL, it's all about the shield. And it's all about the team. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's why it ends up being the most popular sport right now because it's marketed as a team sport. And the individual is and he's in the confines of the team, it's cool. But when he's outside the team, that's when they look frowned upon.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of reasons, a lot of different reasons why it might be the #1 sport, because considering the condensed schedule, I think that's the main thing. But when you dealing with players like just like you said, they want to build their brand. You know what's really wrong with the NFL and maybe even just sports in general right now. Things have changed.
Yes, things have changed
dramatically. You used to get paid for winning.
Right.
And now you get paid for performing. Yeah, for potential and performing in whatever moment that it is.
Right.
But not for winning.
Yeah, they get their contract before they even win a ball.
Absolutely. You get the contract for just being talented.
Absolutely.
And the problem with the thing is you don't have to worry about no watch.
Right.
Just win.
But just real quick, as we cover this, is that our fault as fans? Or is it, indicative of something else? Because we paying for these people to be how they are.
But I think I'm not gonna blame it on the fans, especially when it comes to football.
Okay,
because
cool.
One thing you learn when you're talking to a football fan is that football, you can sell anything to a football fan for their team.
Right.
It could be trash team, and they like, yeah, we got such and such coming in this year. You're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter. You sell anything to them. I think when it comes to the NFL and the teams, they want to keep selling us that the goal is winning.
Right.
They want to keep selling us that the goal is the championship and the Super Bowl.
Absolutely not.
But what happens is, even when people are winning the Super Bowl or the championship, they immediately they want to invert the league.
Right.
They don't want them to win the Super Bowl and championship. They start to try to elevate
Right.
the people coming up. You know, like I love Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
He was basically a rookie last year.
Absolutely.
And we gave him the MVP. It's like things that you thought you would never see.
Right.
Like, well, he lost.
Right.
You know, but it doesn't matter these days. It's like you said, it's all about potential, talent, and flair and thrill. And that's what they sell.
Right.
But then when it gets on display, everybody wants to act like it's a problem.
Right.
When people try to take advantage of it,
right.
and you see Odell in a $200,000
That's where
watch.
you coming with the hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's just it's hypocrisy. It's the way it is now.
Can it be fixed?
I don't think it can be fixed because I think it's a part from the top to the bottom.
Right.
And these players, it really is about individual accomplishment.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. It really is about this. Man, it's not all about the numbers. Well, I beg to differ.
Absolutely.
If you can have the numbers, and then next thing you know, you one of the top paid.
Period.
Soon as it comes up. So what can you do? What can you do about an Odell? What can you do about these players?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so he's balling. That's the reality of it is. He's wearing the watch, he's still balling. But the problem is that football is a team sport.
Right.
But you got people all over the Browns making it about them.
Absolutely.
You got Baker Mayfield making it about him. You got Odell making it about him. You got, it's way too many personalities.
Tell Cleveland it should be about winning ball games, because right now you're 1-2 and you are not exceeding expectations.
Let's just
some people pick y'all as Super Bowl favorites.
Let's just say this: I don't know when quarterbacks in the NFL are gonna learn. You do not talk trash in the NFL. We saw it with Vic. We saw it. We've seen it so many times. They get a team that they think is gonna be good, and they be like, "We gonna be," Remember Deshaun was talking about we gonna be an all-star team. Yeah, but till them boys hear what you saying, and then you got Tennessee Titans playing way above their head just to stump you.
Just to stump you. It was their Super Bowl for them. Speaking of teams, let's go into what's going on this season. The most impressive teams that we've seen so far. We're going into week 4 of the season. I know you got your fantasy, but
it's been a hell of a season.
It's been a hell of a season so far. I'll go first with the Chiefs. We kind of knew they was going to be impressive starting out because of their offense and what they do. I think that teams now know Mahomes and they got a little bit more film on him, and he's still able to work his magic. Of course, the Patriots. They just been great. But my caveat to them so far is they haven't really played anybody. I think the first game, Pittsburgh is not Pittsburgh anymore. But I don't care who they play. They're going to be good. But I still feel like proponents out there could be like, well, you played the Jets and the Dolphins. I think Alabama and LSU can give them a run at this point right now or whatever. Then I got the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have been impressive. Once again, they played the Giants, which is my favorite team. But the Giants don't look well. They had Eli. I think now with the new quarterback, it might be a little bit different. And then I think the Rams have been impressive because they had to play the Saints.
Oh, I didn't think about the Rams.
And they have put Breeze out or whatever. And so I just think those 4 teams have been the most impressive so far that I've seen.
Okay. I agree with most of them. I think the Patriots have been impressive. My thing with the Patriots is when you're a great team,
yes.
What makes you a great team is that you don't play down to your competition. And so the most impressive thing about the Patriots to me has been the Patriots dedicating themselves to defense, not giving up a touchdown.
Yeah,
it's all about the details right now, and they are locked in, and that defense looks amazing. I remember before the season started, the main thing was people like, the defensive coordinator leaving, and I'm just like, y'all don't realize this is about to be his defense now. He's back. He's back. It's time for, just like when he was with the Tuna, for the Giants. He's calling the defensive calls, and McVay is running the offense.
Absolutely.
So I love what they have going on right there. Even though it's going to be some changes to the team, they still putting it together. The Chiefs have been impressive because they're missing two of their weapons that they really had last year. Mahomes is still putting up those numbers. I still think they're playing a bad brand of football. That's just my opinion. I understand people love the bombs and the Mahomes racking up almost 1,000 yards.
It kind of reminiscent of the Rams when they had the greatest show on turf.
Absolutely.
And then when they felt mad against the Pats, there was something else that happened.
Absolutely. Or the Chiefs of last year.
Right.
And now they're even. It's almost like I called him the D'Antoni of the NFL. I called him Brady, the D'Antoni of the NFL. It's almost like he really is because he's doubling down.
Reminiscent of the Rams when they had the greatest show on turf.
Absolutely.
And then when they felt mad against the Pats, there was something else that happened.
Absolutely. Or the Chiefs of last year.
Right.
And now they're even. It's almost like I called him the D'Antoni of the NFL. I called him Brady, the D'Antoni of the NFL. It's almost like he really is because he's doubling down on offense. It's like, we gonna score even more points. Mahomes gonna throw for even more yards. It's like, dude, they have to get an identity where they're a bit more balanced, where they run the ball and use some of that.
I do think LaShawn McCoy was a good pickup for him, though.
It's a great pickup.
System.
Great pickup. Yeah. But the thing with LaShawn McCoy is he's a utility back, and that's still gonna be, just like if it was greatest show on turf, and you had,
Marshall Faulk.
They not gonna pound the ball and put up numbers.
Right.
So I still think that's a problem because the defense is still struggling. Absolutely. They almost lost to Baltimore.
Right.
They just couldn't get it together early enough. And one stop, they probably win that game.
Right.
Cowboys have been impressive. The Cowboys haven't played anybody. But the thing with the Cowboys that you can appreciate is there's clearly been at least an improvement in Dak as a quarterback, in the way that they're approaching the game, not putting all of those carries on Zeke and moving forward. The defense looks great.
Good.
It's about to get real.
It's about to get real.
So I'm excited to see if they can handle this Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see if they can handle, what their challenges that they have coming up, because they better watch out or it's gonna come crashing down against the Saints. Buffalo has been super impressive.
Wow, that's an outlier. Yeah,
Buffalo has been super impressive to me. I mean, that defense looks great. The colder it gets, people hate playing in Buffalo anyway. It's going to be those snow games. Yeah. They're going to be able to still produce.
They got the Patriots this week, don't they?
They do.
That's going to be very interesting.
They do. It's going to be interesting on one side of the ball. Yeah. Their offense is still struggling. They're not a complete team. But I have to be impressed with Buffalo, and I feel like right next to them is the Packers, with what they've been able to do defensively. Because they haven't been impressive as a team.
Right.
But the fact when you say in a sentence, wow, they're winning. Yeah. But Rodgers is playing like, a top 20 quarterback instead of a top 5.
Right.
And you know that at some point that's going to come.
I think he's getting better at managing instead of just winning on his arm. Understanding that it's like you said, a balanced situation.
As long as he a new thing, and this is a level that Mahomes is going to have to mature to, when it's not your turn in the offense.
Right.
When you're not going to throw for 3 touchdowns, and you're okay with
checking
using
down
the
to
clock,
a run.
checking down, getting first downs, moving the chains, and keeping the defense off the field, keeping the ball out of the opponent's hands, and just winning the game.
Absolutely.
Just win. And, right now, we don't know if a lot of these teams can win those ugly games. We know the Packers can. We don't know if, we know the Patriots can. We don't know if the Chiefs can. We don't know if the Cowboys can.
Right.
We know
Speaking of quarterbacks, in that vein, is Tom Brady the best ever?
Tom Brady's the best quarterback ever. That question to me has been answered. We have stats statistically. We can put him up there with anybody. Nobody is on his level as far as Super Bowls is concerned. He's up on everybody's level when it comes to individual accolades.
Right.
When you give him Randy Moss, he breaks records.
Right.
We understand that, and we also understand that when it comes to football IQ, other than maybe Manning in Montana, there really hasn't been another football mind.
I think that Tom Brady is the best ever, with the caveat because of Belichick. You know what I'm saying? And the situation, I think that's why we give Belichick a lot of credence, as well as Brady, how they've been able to coexist together and been able to build this thing to the point where he's the best ever, and you basically call Belichick probably the best ever in the way that they conform their teams into situations. It's like, because at first I was a proponent to this last Super Bowl that he won, because when he was out for that year, they still went 12-4, 11-5. So it was like, man, Belichick just creates a system, but nobody does it better in his system.
But I disagree with that, because this is why I disagree with it. Whenever we talk about greatest player ever, we want to add the caveat when we don't really want to give it to the person. The reality of it is, when you're talking about greatest player ever, is that success is a part of it.
Okay.
So when success is a part of it, whoever is connected to that level of success as the coach, their level of, iconic status rises as well.
But yeah, but when we also say greatest player ever,
name a greatest player ever that doesn't have a greatest coach ever that's not named LeBron. Try it. There's not one. Any sport, anywhere. You know what I mean? It's only one.
How did he get in this conversation?
I'm just saying.
Okay, no. I understand what you're saying. But I'm saying, when you put another player back, a coach back there, and you put another player back there, and they're least successful, it basically shows you how good the quarterback is.
Yeah.
So when you put that other quarterback back there and they won those games, you was like, man, well, I don't know if Brady is there, because when he was back,
that might be true, but we also know through their relationship, through watching them over these last.
Oh, that's what I said. I can see
that I'm saying that it's not a partnership in as much as sometimes Brady has to go against the grain with Belichick. Belichick doesn't put. Let's just say this: Belichick is not interested 100% of the time in putting Brady in a position to succeed. He doesn't give him receivers. He doesn't give him weapons on the offense. He doesn't give him the thing that he needs year in and year out to succeed. He doesn't give him that running back. Absolutely not. Look at every year we talk about.
He's not going out and getting.
But that's the thing. The system is Tom Brady. The system is Tom Brady.
And that's the system that this is what you need. You need Edelman, so I'm going to pay Edelman.
But you don't need Edelman.
I would go get Josh Gordon.
Edelman can be Amendola.
He was an Edelman, so Amendola got too old. We don't get Edelman.
It can be anybody. It can be anybody.
Right.
So if it can be,
they got to fit a certain stereotype.
Regardless.
Okay.
It can be any receiver.
But
it can only be one quarterback.
Because Belichick is the GM and coach, he put them in that situation. So I think there's a conversation that is had. Say, okay, if you can't give me this, give me this. Okay, we'll get you this.
The conversation is for Brady is give me a tall receiver that I can go over the top with and stretch this defense.
So then we would go get Gordon.
But no, you go get nobody. You go get me spare parts. Brady succeeds against the odds. Now, we got to give him credit for that. We got to give him credit for it. Now, the thing that happens is, because nobody expected him to win last year.
Nobody expected him to win the Super Bowl.
Nobody.
Okay, I got you.
No, but the thing that happens when you succeed is, after you succeed, everybody, and you've been successful, everybody goes, of course they were going to win. Okay. I mean, you don't bet against your past.
But did Brady win that Super Bowl last year, or did his defense win it last year? It was 13-10.
It was 13-10.
Right.
He still made the plays that he needed to make.
It was a hard game. But
he still made the plays that he needed to make. Let's just say this.
Okay.
Because we talk about this when we talk about Brady and one year winning the Super Bowl, next year not winning the Super Bowl. Okay. Year that he won the Super Bowl the year before.
Right.
He threw for 500 yards.
Right.
And the defense lost the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, it doesn't matter whichever way you want to put it. Now that they win the Super Bowl and he makes some plays, it's like, oh well, that was Belichick's.
Okay.
Oh well. That one should have been mine. It's a team game.
Okay.
And he still has to do what he has to do. And on his end.
Right.
And then Belichick does what he does, but their lore or their legend, it rises together. But it's what we like to do. It's how people think. It's how people think, because you know, the people like to say, well, if you put Aaron Rodgers with Belichick, he wins 10. Well, Aaron Rodgers don't play with Belichick.
Oh no, but I honestly think that those quarterbacks would not win. I think they would win, but I don't think they would win.
Yeah, I think we are. Sometimes we don't value enough how close these things are. How close success and failure is, and like the difference between greatness and just being great.
Absolutely.
And it's people like Brady, people like Jordan. It literally comes down to one moment.
Okay.
And more times than not, they are successful
because of that moment.
Of that moment. And you can't take it away from him.
Right. So like I said, we both agree that he's the best.
He made Edelman a Super Bowl MVP.
Right. I still don't understand how he got LeBron in that conversation, but we're gonna move
because
on.
you trying to say the coach. I didn't say it out loud, but people go, well, LeBron, he doesn't have as many championships as Mike, and then it's like, well, Michael had Phil.
Right.
And Phil, he won 3 with Phil. Phil also had Kobe, Shaq, he did the same thing.
Right.
He three-peated. So if we're gonna take people down a tick just because they had a legendary coach, then we will have to take Mike down a tick as well. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. Argument.
Okay, I got you. Right.
Yeah.
So you didn't like Tyronn Lue? I'm just playing. Okay. We're gonna go right into the top 5 athletes. We told you to give you top 5 every time we do the show, and I'm gonna keep hold to your word. Top 5 athletes of all time, regardless of anything. I'm talking about athletes. Now, it's going to be very interesting, this situation, because I threw him for a ruse. He didn't even know this subject was coming. But give me your top 5. Let's go 5 to 1.
Top 5 athletes of all time, to me. Number 5, Michael Johnson.
Okay.
400, 200, Atlanta Olympics, gold shoes. Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man. Changed everything.
Got you.
4, Usain Bolt.
Man, that's what's up.
Come on, man. Number 3, LeBron.
Okay.
Never seen nobody his size be that fast. I mean, still, when he wants to move, one of the fastest players in the league. And just longevity, doesn't really get hurt. Just an incredible.
And I'm going to tell you right now, that analytics about the slowest movement,
man,
that's bull crap. And I don't curse. That's why I'm saying that. That's terrible.
Come on, man. They keep trying to bring that up.
That's terrible. That's the worst argument for LeBron that you could ever say.
Number 2. These are either 1 or 2.
Okay.
I feel like it should be on everybody's list, so I'm going to see what he says in a minute. Number 2, Bo Jackson. Okay. Baseball, football.
Right.
Incredible athlete.
Yes.
Running up the sides.
Yeah.
He invented that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Deion Sanders for me is number 1. Prime time.
Mm-hmm.
We've just never seen anything like Deion Sanders, like in what he could, his physical specimen, and just what he could accomplish athletically, and how he literally, baseball, football,
right.
Incredible athlete,
yes.
running up the sides.
He
invented that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Deion Sanders for me is number 1. Prime time.
Mm-hmm.
We've just never seen anything like Deion Sanders, like in what he could, his physical specimen, and just what he could accomplish athletically, and how he literally could change any team he went on and always make a play.
Absolutely.
Like he could do it on command.
Hey, he was a beast.
On command.
And shut down the whole side of a field.
He'd be like, it's time to make a play. And he would just make a play.
Yeah.
And I gotta say this is why he beat out Bo Jackson to me. I didn't never go to a lot of baseball games when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a Cincinnati Reds game once. I'm at the Cincinnati Reds game, and I'm watching Deion come out with, he got his pants put up. I used to wear them. He swagged out. He hits the ball, man. Ball goes off the third baseline, in the field, home run. In the field, home run. Inside the park, home run. Tweaked his hamstring a little bit. At least that's what he's saying. Now we know he's probably just saving himself for Sunday.
Right.
But he tweaked. In the field, home run, shut it down. He like, I'm done for the night. I'm out of here. I was like, man, I was just sitting there like, that's insane. In the park, home run.
Okay, I like this list. I can't dispute none of those. I will tell you this. I didn't put Bo Jackson on my list. I just feel like he didn't do it long enough. I think great athlete, but it's like at the pro level, I think it hurt him. He would probably be number 6 on my list or whatever because he was dangerous in every way. My list is Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan. I got tied at the bottom. I think I just watched a special on HBO LeBron James produced on Muhammad Ali, and they did an excellent job with it. Oh man,
I didn't watch that one yet.
Oh,
I gotta watch
unbelievable! I
gotta watch that.
Telling
one.
everybody need to watch that one. And then Michael, what he could do maneuvering from left to right, his body. The jumping, the ability, the things that he could do on the court, along with his speed and things like that. My number 4 was Dion. This thing, we doing 5-1. You could put Dion in 1, and I'll be totally happy. Dion was my man, prime time. Who said it best? I mean, he could do it all. Number 3 for me is Serena Williams. You know, man, she's athletically. It ain't no comparison. I think sometimes we downgrade it because she's a female. But I really think she can play some males and win a couple games. Number 2, Wilt Chamberlain. People don't understand he was a great track and field athlete. You know, high jump, broad jump. His lore is ridiculous when people talk about stories about what he could do at any given notice and any moment's notice. And then number 1 for me, and this might shock him, LeBron James. I think athletically, he is the
next level.
He can do anything he wants. I seen his high school footage when he was playing tight end and catching balls with one hand. I mean, it's just, he pretty much can do anything he wants if he puts his mind to it. He's that special athletically.
I like that list. I wouldn't, Wilt Chamberlain can't be on my list because just image-wise, when I think about them shoes that they used to wear, and them socks.
But to be that great with them shoes.
I just see how I know he was like touching the top of the backboard, but it just messes with my head. I can't put him up there. That's a little recency bias, I'm sure.
Hey, I totally
and
understand.
Muhammad Ali, I feel like in his absolute prime, he was an incredible athlete.
Right.
Body was there, but I feel like his greatness kind of was surpassed athleticism. When you think about him being great, you think about the rope-a-dope, you know, Thriller. You think about just those battles of attrition, where, you know. So that's why this don't necessarily.
Until you watch the HBO special, you'll see
that.
How he put it all together and how mentally, with his athletic gifting, he was able to win some fights that you was thinking he was past his prime, wasn't supposed to win. You like, I'm telling you that LeBron, whatever they doing on the production floor is ridiculous because the stuff that they put out is pretty much quality. But yeah, those are our 5. Please argue with us. Please comment. Please like.
You don't want these problems.
Give us these problems. We'll give them right back to you.
You don't lose.
This is the spin. This is how it's going down every time. We're going to go real quick. LA Live. We love hoop. We're going to talk about it real short, but I'm letting you know now, future Spinion episodes, because of the preseason and hoop about to start, you're going to hear a lot of talk about basketball.
Just know it's about
way more than any other sport that we never talked about. LA Live is the big topic in the NBA going on right now.
Yeah.
The big topic, the Lakers and the Clippers. Who you got?
It's to me, it's still Lakers.
It's still the Lake Show.
Even though DeMarcus went down, and I'm reading stories that he's gonna stay with the team, so we'll see how that goes.
Right.
You know, either later in the year or next year.
Right.
Dwight Howard, we haven't seen him actually play a game, but he's changed his body.
Yeah.
And I'm a real body conscious person. I can almost identify when people are unbalanced and how they're gonna hurt themselves.
Absolutely, I got you.
And he was top heavy.
Yeah.
His shoulders were ridiculous with the little leg. I mean, no.
He's like a robot.
That's why his back. To me, I'm not a doctor or anything, but just visually, I usually can pinpoint it, and I feel like that's why his back, as he got older, couldn't handle it.
Right.
Because that is core.
Right.
It's all works together. He looks great now.
And he's still pretty young age-wise.
Yeah. And it looks like he's down about 55 pounds.
The question about Dwight Howard to me is going to be your ego.
I don't think it's the things that happened to him last year.
Yes.
Them will suck. I gotta watch the words I use.
Right.
That'll knock it ego down a notch.
Yeah.
I think he's ready.
But he didn't cut his hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But,
It looks like he's trying to
LA,
get a new start.
Yeah. You know, LA. Everything looks good to me. We still waiting to see how the Iguodala situation pans out. Mm-hmm. That's getting on my nerves.
Right.
Memphis is tripping, man. But a few teams are tripped in the offseason. But so I got them. I still have them over the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers are going to be a good team. I think even though the Clippers are saying they're not going to load manage Kawhi and things like that, they better. I don't know if anybody was paying attention, but he as the
season went on.
Absolutely. He was hobbled. He wasn't 100% in the finals. He wasn't even fast. So be careful, Clippers, doing that. You have Paul George not even starting the season. It's a lot for me. I know everybody feels like all of the questions are with the Lakers, but it's a lot of questions for the Clippers to me. And one more point. People feel like the Clippers are almost just continuing their success. Because they're adding these players to the team. First of all, they lost a few. But most importantly, they're adding the 1 and 2 options. That means it's a totally different team.
Absolutely.
It's a totally, yes, everything is different. Lou Williams can't just go when he wants to go. Patrick Beverly can't play the same type of game he's played. His minutes are going to be different. Ball handling responsibilities are going to be different. Everything's going to change. So let's just see. They're also a wait and see. So let's see how they put it together. But, you know, Lakers have Anthony Davis, LeBron James. The size is still there. I was still worried about the size going down when DeMarcus went down. The size is still there. They're a huge team. Everybody's in shape. Everybody's ready to roll. Heard some bad things about Kyle Kuzma. Still trying to, recover from whatever happened to him in the USA team. Maybe he should have just came home.
He's not going to be the problem. At the end of the day, like you said, right now, if you're looking on paper, if you go with the Clippers, you're crazy because the Lakers on paper are just a flat-out better team, full of better ballers and flat-out hoopers. When you talk about hoopers, you say Lou Williams is a hooper, but dude, Avery Bradley and Jeff Green, they hoopers too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got people that can lock that down.
It's like Harrell is a good basketball player, but what is he, like 6?
Yes, you're not getting down.
They got to listen to 6'8".
How did you let the Lakers get 2 rim protectors, Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard? The biggest question for the Lakers is going to be the free throw situation. Are you going to be able to sit one out? Because Dwight Howard has to sit down in the fourth quarter. Because Doc Rivers is going to hack a Shaq. He's going to do that.
It's going to be a better team in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Because that's when Anthony Davis is going to slide to the 5, and it's basically going to be like the death lineup type of thing.
I do not want Anthony Davis to do what Chris Bosh did when he went to Miami. And that's why I think they changed the dynamics. When Chris Bosh went to Miami, he became just a throw it out to the top, and he became a jump shooter, kind of like Robert Horry instead of go be a dog. But I think this situation, this group right here, LeBron is saying, Anthony, you gonna be option one, and you gonna have to be the dog.
And he has to. And I want to say about those type of players, because that continues to be the narrative about playing with LeBron. LeBron gives you the ball.
Absolutely.
You can do whatever you want to do.
And he ain't gonna say nothing.
Nobody tell you.
Kyrie can attest that. Yes.
You can shoot more shots. LeBron ain't gonna tell you got to stand at the 3-point line and shoot that ball. That's just what players. It's easy when you're playing with LeBron. So they take the easier route.
And I just think the movement is gonna be better. You know what I'm saying? This is the best forward that LeBron has ever played with.
I'm excited to see.
And the bag that Anthony Davis got.
He got the whole thing.
Yeah. So it's gonna be great to see. He might be the front runner for MVP. The only reason they wouldn't give it to him because they're gonna say he has LeBron on his team if he has a great year. That's the only reason they were trying to take that away.
And we'll see how it goes. How the narrative kind of comes out, because a lot of times what happens because people say, well, LeBron's on the team, he's gonna take all your shine. You would think so. But the way people feel about LeBron is people would love to create the narrative that Anthony Davis has taken over this team and it's his show. So he just might have a leg up. He's definitely be in top 4.
Prediction for me that's don't be surprised if LeBron averages a triple-double this year. I know he always near
I think he will.
But that's the type of season
if people
he want to dominate. I can watching his Instagram, not just his workout, because I don't put a lot into the workout, because everybody knows LeBron works out. But I think he's so motivated right now.
It's gonna be
some trouble, because like I said, some people put him out in the top 5 NBA players. You crazy? Come on, man, LeBron James.
They did do that, didn't they? I forgot about that.
That's crazy. And that's it for the Spinion this week. What we're going to do next week is going to be all about that league. We might cover NFL a little bit, but the NBA is coming, and we're getting ready. And we're getting in our bag to let y'all know what we really feel about this thing. Thanks for watching the Spinion. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like. Make sure you tell others about the Spinion. This is going on. This is going down. It's going to get better and better each show we do. Spinion, we out of here.